Hey guys and gals, it's Alphahunter with Alphahunter Tactical Design. Wanted to do a review on a collaboration that I just did with Jake Hoback, or that I'm doing with Jake Hoback. Jake and I have done a few collaborations together over the past year. The first one was the A10 Alpha Terminator. I believe we did about 7 of those in total. And it was a 3.5-inch flipper, and it was really cool. We used S35 VN and had some really good success stories with that. Our most recent 2 collaborations was the Tribulation, which was the Chopper in the Wrath of God series, and then the design that I came out with called the Warhorse that I commissioned Jake to build for me, and we're going to be doing a run of those as well. But this is basically based on a model that Jake's already come out with. It's called the A15, but it was built to my specifications, and we're doing a small limited run on these, and we've already sold out before the first one was ever built, just based on the specs alone. I think we're going to do a total of 9 of these, and Jake's in the process of completing those right now. This made its debut at Blade, and guys were really impressed with the action, and it's a big knife. The blade is 4 inches. I like M4. You don't see M4 in a lot of folders, and I was wanting I was wanting an M4 blade for myself, so we decided to go with .200 thick, like I like it, .200 thick M4, and then .200 thick titanium on the slabs. But then I also wanted a bolster. But bolsters, you can take the screws out and take them apart. To me, a bolster, that can you got screws and parts that can come apart, and so I asked Jake to mill the bolster into the titanium. So the bolster's actually milled into the titanium, and then milled out to put in a nice piece of lightning strike carbon fiber. Also, Jake's finishes are really cool. He does, his work is industrial looking, and when he builds a knife, they just look. I love the way they look. The Warhorse, he did a great job with my design. Been very pleased with that. Had a lot of good reception on that. So I asked him to incorporate the lightning strike carbon fiber, which goes well with his heat anodized bronze finish. And he does an orange pill, and then he heat anodizes it with a bronze. But it just turned out really good. Custom pocket clip, and then he did a titanium back spacer, and he anodized that as well. And it's got a really cool little lanyard hole back here. But I'm just really pleased with this knife. When we did the A10s last year, Jake used a micro roller bearing system. That was a good system, but over the year, you find out there's better things out there, and now Jake's using a system that's pretty much identical to what Zero Tolerance is using on the 560, 561 series. They call it KVT, but it's really a thrust bearing. So this is riding on bearings. For those of you that are familiar with the ZT560, bearing system's pretty much identical to what Jake's using. Really cool stuff. It just makes the knife fire that much harder. Also, a lot of guys like to have their blades sent out to be regrind or reground on a custom, or they like to get the custom. Like when I think of custom grinds, I think of the Mixed Strider Nightmare grind or a Hinder custom grind, and I'm like, hey, look, why not do that to one of your blades? So Jake did that for me, and he did it on top of a acid washed finished blade, which I think looks really cool. The action is just buttery smooth. Okay, and it's a hefty knife, 4-inch blade. It's a good sized knife. I'll do some comparisons with some other knives here in just a second. But you can see the way he's milled out the titanium for the bolster. The back spacer is titanium. I mean, this knife is just, it's almost like an integral, the way he's designed it, but it's not, because it's in parts. You have your 2 pieces of titanium, and then a nice thick titanium back spacer. But they're just the way he builds a knife is just seamless and smooth. Jimping's in the right places. And just look at the way he does his anodizing. I love it, man. And the more you handle it, the darker it gets, and it almost becomes, it's like a bronze finish, and it gets darker over time. But if you want to shine it back up, you just re-oil it. But the oils in your hands cause it to get this darker bronze finish, and the more you handle it, the darker it becomes, and it looks really cool. But like I said, if you want it shiny again, you just take some, I like to use rim oil and just shine it down, and it makes it bright again. M4 is a great still. It develops a nice patina. I don't know if you can see the grinds that he did. This thing slices. It's got some nice, it's a laser. If you see all that, that's oil. This blade was heavily oiled by Jake when he gave it to me at Blade, because it's M4. M4 is prone to develop rust spots, but if you keep it oiled and maintained, you won't have any problems. But M4 also develops patinas, which is really cool. See, I've had this knife, I got it at Blade, and it's already developing a nice patina. And I love a patina on a blade. I'm a fan of those. And Jake went with the traditional tanto style. Guys are like, what's a traditional tanto? Okay, imagine having a folding katana in your pocket, or a folding wacky sword, a mini wakizi. It's just really cool. It's got it's got 2 points you can work with. This one here, and then this one here. So these 2 points are functional for cutting, okay, or piercing, and it gives you a more functional blade shape. A lot of guys like their blades completely rounded, a drop point, but this extra point right here can be used to cut through boxes, or cut through, if you're a hunter, if you're cutting through deer meat, skin, whatever. If you're, it's actually very functional. Plus, it makes it very powerful. This is a very powerful penetration tool. And it's cool. To me, I think they're cool. You don't see a lot of knives out there like that. It just gives it a different, unique look. Jake also incorporated a thumb hole, but I'll probably never use it because it flips so smooth. The action is just amazing. It is lightning fast. Did I say the word lightning? It's sweet, guys. I love it. So, I hate to say this, but we've sold out of these. This is the first one. This is the prototype. But, I shared the information with some guys, some of my knife buddies out there, customers and whatnot that buy our knives, and I told them what we were working on, and they all wanted one. So, unfortunately, we're only doing, I believe, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're doing 9 of these. We might do a few more, but we've already sold out. So, I hate to say that, but this particular model, the Alpha Grind with the Lightning Strike carbon fiber, is gone. So, we're not taking orders on this particular knife, but that might change in the future here. But I just kind of wanted to let you guys check it out and see it, and let's just, guys got to handle this at Blade, and a lot of people were impressed, and I, for one, was very impressed. And this knife just really flips well. And here it is next to the Warhorse. Okay, and if you can tell the difference, the Warhorse was actually this shiny when I got it. But after being handled a lot, IEDC this knife all the time, see how much darker it's gotten? And all I have to do is take rim oil to it, and it'll be as shiny as that. But I think it's cool. And as this M4 blade patinas over time, it's going to look really, really cool. And this is the knife you guys have seen me do a video on yesterday, by Dalibor. It's his new knife that he just recently came out with, the Regulus, and he was wanting to see some pictures of that next to the A15 and the Warhorse, so we'll do that in the video for Dalibor. There you go. That's how they look, all three side by side. So anyways, guys, I appreciate all your support and all your feedback. We thank you for everything. The USN and Blade forums have been a blessing. The USN is a second home for me, and you guys are just great. I consider you family. So I hope you enjoy these videos. They're not very good. They're on my iPhone, Actually, I was told by Shox One last night that I needed to flip my iPhone when I do my videos, and so I'm holding my iPhone sideways. So hopefully this thing will turn out a little bit better this time. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I like to ramble, so I'm going to cut it off here. Let you look at the knife a little bit longer, and I'll flip it for you a few more times just so you can see the action on these things. It's just lightning and smooth. Also, Jake's doing on all the new knives the Hoback rollback detent system, the HRD system, and you'll see that pretty much on all his knives going forward. And Jake's got a video out on that, so you guys need to check that out as well. It's a really cool innovation, and aerospace technology, and Hoback's done a good job with that. And Jake, I think you've done an excellent job with this A15, the Alpha Grind series, and love you, brother. I've had fun doing all these collaborations with you, and we have a lot more coming down the pipeline. I'm working on a couple more designs with Jake, and we're actually, after we do this series, we're going to finish up the Warhorse series that we've got some orders for, and then we're going to be introducing a mini Warhorse flipper, and that'll have probably between a 3 or a 3/4 inch blade, and it'll be a flipper. So if you guys like smaller knives that are overbuilt, the mini Warhorse flipper will be right up your alley. Hope you all are doing well. Have a good evening. God bless.